I was willing to accept what I couldn't change. Unless India stands up to the world, no one will respect us. In this world, fear has no place. Only strength respects strength. No religion has mandated killing others as a requirement for its sustenance or promotion. Be more dedicated to making solid achievements than in running after swift but synthetic happiness. No sanction can stand against ignited minds. Almost half of the population of the world lives in rural regions and mostly in a state of poverty. Such inequalities in human development have been one of the primary reasons for unrest and, in some parts of the world, even violence. Ultimately, education in its real sense is the pursuit of truth. It is an endless journey through knowledge and enlightenment. Building capacity dissolves differences. It irons out inequalities. What is politics? Political system is equal to development politics plus political politics. Educationists should build the capacities of the spirit of inquiry, creativity, entrepreneurial and moral leadership among students and become their role model. Poetry comes from the highest happiness or the deepest sorrow. In a democracy, the well-being, individuality and happiness of every citizen is important for the overall prosperity, peace and happiness of the nation. When we tackle obstacles, we find hidden reserves of courage and resilience we did not know we had. And it is only when we are faced with failure do we realize that these resources were always there within us. We only need to find them and move on with our lives. Where do the evils like corruption arise from? It comes from the never-ending greed. The fight for corruption-free ethical society will have to be fought against this greed and replace it with what can I give spirit. In India we only read about death, sickness, terrorism, crime. Great teachers emanate out of knowledge, passion and compassion. Creativity is the key to success in the future, and primary education is where teachers can bring creativity in children at that level. I firmly believe that unless one has tasted the bitter pill of failure, one cannot aspire enough for success. As a child of God, I am greater than anything that can happen to me. A teacher should have a creative mind. Those who cannot work with their hearts achieve but a hollow, half-hearted success that breeds bitterness all around. For me, there are two types of people, the young and the experienced. It's when children are 15, 16 or 17 that they decide whether they want to be a doctor, an engineer, a politician or go to the Mars or Moon. That is the time they start having a dream, and that's the time you can work on them. You can help them shape their dreams. While children are struggling to be unique, the world around them is trying all means to make them look like everybody else. Rameswaram has, since antiquity, been an important pilgrimage destination. For me, there is no such thing as a negative experience. Regarding marriage, somehow, it didn't happen. One fellow in such a big family not getting married is not an issue. Tell me, why is the media here so negative? Why are we in India so embarrassed to recognize our own strengths, our achievements? We are such a great nation. We have so many amazing success stories but we refuse to acknowledge them. Why? We will be remembered only if we give to our younger generation a prosperous and safe India, resulting out of economic prosperity coupled with civilizational heritage. The wealth of information now available at the click of a finger amazes me. My view is that at a younger age your optimism is more and you have more imagination etc. You have less bias. India should walk on her own shadow, we must have our own development model. Economy forced me to become a vegetarian, but I finally starting liking it. India can live without nuclear weapons. That's our dream, and it should be the dream of the US also. My 2020 vision for India is to transform it into a developed nation. That cannot be abstract, it is a lifeline. Nations consist of people. And with their effort, a nation can accomplish all it could ever want. Why are we, as a nation, so obsessed with foreign things? Is it a legacy of our colonial years? We want foreign television sets. We want foreign shirts. We want foreign technology. Why this obsession with everything imported? Widespread use of antibiotics promotes the spread of antibiotic resistance. Smart use of antibiotics is the key to controlling its spread. When you look at the light bulb above you, you remember Thomas Alva Edison. When the telephone bell rings, you remember Alexander Graham Bell. Marie Curie was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize. When you see the blue sky, you think of Sir C.V. Raman. All wars signify the failure of conflict resolution mechanisms, and they need post-war rebuilding of faith, trust and confidence. We must think and act like a nation of 1 billion people and not like that of 1 million people. Dream, dream, dream. Medical costs are of concern, both in developing and developed countries. When a nation is surrounded by weaponized nations, she has to equip herself. One of the more difficult tasks for me as president was to decide on the issue of confirming capital punishment awarded by courts. To my surprise, almost all cases which were pending had a social and economic bias. I have met 18 million youth, and each wants to be unique.